Welcome everybody, my name is Anne. Most of us have probably met IRL in real life before. But again, if we haven't met, my name is Anne and I am going to be the teacher for this class. This is a 55-minute Pilates Yoga Fusion class. The emphasis of the work, the exercises will come from that Pilates component, but I am going to tie in a little bit of yoga in terms of some of the mindfulness that we bring to the class, some of the breath work, some of the stretches you might even recognize from a yoga practice. That being said, if you have never taken a yoga class or a Pilates class, not to worry, this is meant to be an open level, accessible class for everyone. Only props you'll need today are a yoga mat. If you do not have a mat, try to do this on a carpeted area or maybe just folding up a blanket to give yourself a little extra cushioning and support while you're on the floor. Other than that, you just need your body. Just know that everything that I offer to you today is a suggestion. So that goes from everything from the exercises to the breath work to the positions that we're in. Please listen to your body. If anything doesn't feel right for you, especially if anything starts to hurt, please take a modification of the exercise, take a rest if you need it, do a completely different exercise that may suit your body a little bit better. Again, I'm just suggesting things for you today, but you are absolutely welcome to make this class your own. Try challenging yourself a little bit, but definitely listen to your body. Okay, so you're gonna notice that I'm not playing music in the background today, just because there's issues with copyright music and putting that on the internet. So what I've done, I'm wearing one little headphone here, so I have some music streaming to myself. I invite you to do the same. Please put on some music in the background. It makes working out, it makes Pilates, it makes my life just a lot better, a little bit more fun. So please go ahead, set up some music, press play when you're ready. I'm gonna do that too. All right. And then let's get started lying down. So make your way into a comfortable position on the back of your body. So maybe that's the legs long, or maybe the knees are bent, soles of the feet flat to the floor. If you're dealing with any tension in the low back today, sometimes the knees bent option is the nicest way to start here. And once you've made your way into that comfortable position on the back of your body, I invite you to maybe close your eyes or just soften the gaze if that's comfortable. Take this first few moments of class to allow the body to arrive, allow the body just to simply relax and become heavy. So maybe in your body, that means allowing the area of the forehead, the jaw, just to soften. Allow the backs of the shoulders to get heavy, the backs of the ribs and the backs of the pelvis to be heavy and weighted into the mat. Maybe finding a little softening through the belly, through the glutes. And then just releasing any tension, any grip at all you feel on the fingers, the toes. And then let's take our gaze even deeper inward now to our breath. Let's take a moment here, just exhale all the expired air from the lungs. Ha. And then all together, let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Nice big exhale, release by the mouth. Again, another inhale through the nose, taking the time to fill up through the chest, the ribs. Maybe the belly starts to expand and dome. And then exhale, release. One last time, maybe biggest breath in yet. Fill up through the nose. Exhale, release. Good. And then just allow the breath to become natural, relaxed. Let's take our attention now to our body. Start to bring a little bit of movement into the body. Start to wiggle the fingers, the toes. Small, gentle movements. Maybe little cracks, little pops. Start to make the movement a little bit bigger. Start to circle the wrists, the ankles. Find stillness with the hands, the feet. Let's link the breath, the movement together. So on your inhale, start to lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Little stretch for the arm bones. As you exhale, circle the arms out, down, and around. Again, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, nice big circle, out, down, and around. Arms just hover above the ground. Inhale one last time, lift up. Exhale again, nice big circle, out, down, and around. Again, return the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Pause. Take another full breath in. Exhale, simply reverse the same circles other way. Arms down to the hips. Circle the arms out and around towards the ears. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, nice big circle out, down and around. One more big circle in this direction. Inhale, up. Exhale, circle it out, down and around. Return the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, open the arms out wide. If you have the space, capital letter T. If you don't, just bend the elbows, maybe make a goalpost shape with the arms. Bend the knees if they're not bent already. Soles of the feet flat to the floor here. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, allow the knees to fall over to the left. Right hip gently peels away from the floor. If it's comfortable in your body, take the gaze over the right shoulder, full spinal twist here. Let the knees just fall where it's comfortable, not forcing anything. Inhale, bring the knees through center, head and neck through center. Exhale, knees float over to the right, head, neck, and gaze over the left. One more full breath in here. Exhale, knees through center. Bring the palms down by your hips. Palms and arms just rest heavy on the mat for right now. We'll do a few pelvic tilts here. So again, knees bent, feet about hip bone distance apart. We're gonna inhale, rock the pelvis, rock the two hip bones here at the front away from you. Start to arch the low back a little bit away from the floor. And as you exhale, find the reverse. Find a soft tuck of the tailbone and start to tilt the pelvis in towards you, allowing the low back to gently soften or imprint against the floor. Again, inhale, find that little rock away, a little bit of space. Exhale, nice and slow, rock it in, imprint. Good, couple more back and forth here. Your own pace, your own breath. Try to find a range of movement that feels like a little bit of a self-massage along the lower part of your spine. And then let's meet in a neutral position here in between the two extremes, letting the hips, the pelvis, everything just rest pretty naturally. Most of us have a small whisper, a small arch of space between the low back and the floor. So just remembering that shape, what it feels like, kind of what it looks like, and we're gonna definitely come back to that idea of neutral spine throughout the rest of class. Let's start to find some abdominal engagement here. So as you inhale, start to think about the belly button drawing in and up towards the spine. Not a deep contraction pulling in with everything you've got, not that deep, just a low level, like 10%. As you exhale, maintain that connection belly button to spine. Inhale again, belly button to spine. This time layer on. Think about the two hip bones at the front of the pelvis, drawing a little bit in towards center so that the low abs flatten. Take an exhale, maintain those connections. So belly drawing in, hip bones drawing towards center. That's the abdominal connection we're looking for throughout the class to the best of our ability. Let's bend the elbows, interlace the hands behind the head and neck. Rest the head heavy into the hands. Slight tip of the elbows up into the peripheral vision. Slight nod of chin towards the chest. Take a deep breath in, prepare. On your exhale, lift the head and chest straight up in space. And then inhale nice and slow, lower all the way back down. And then again, exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. Good. Allow the low body right now just to be heavy and relaxed. Good. Just moving from the upper abdominals, the upper back, the chest. Lift and lower for 3. Exhale, lift for 2. Inhale back. Last one we lift, hold here. Perched on the tips of the shoulder blades. Low back is still in that neutral position here. Maybe sending the gaze up towards the ceiling or just beyond the knees. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift the chest a little higher in space. Find little tiny pulses straight up. So the chest is just lifting up towards the ceiling. We're going to pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, hold here. Start to press a little bit of weight into your right foot. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, twist the upper body up and over towards the left. Inhale, draw back through center. Try to keep the chest lifted. Exhale, press into the left foot, twist up and over towards the right. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, we switch. Good. That's your movement here, side to side. Maybe the twists are a little small and gentle to start at the beginning. And then each time you return to that side, try to deepen your twist. Lift a little higher, twist a little deeper. Let's do one more each side. Elbows stay wide. Then come back through center, pause here, chest lifted. Inhale, lower all the way back, reset. Exhale, draw the belly in, lift the head and chest straight up in space, pause. We're gonna keep the head and chest lifted now. Focus mainly on the lower body. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, draw the right knee to a tabletop position here. Right knee stacking above the right hip, shin parallel to the ceiling. And then inhale, lower that right foot all the way down. Exhale, we switch. Lift the left leg to tabletop. Inhale, gently place it down. And then exhale, lift right. Inhale, back down. Exhale, left. Good. Keep the chest lifted. One more each leg. Good. Pause here for a second. Lift the chest a bit higher. It's probably dropped. Flip that right leg back to tabletop. Now we're going to add the chest, the leg movement together. So inhale, lower the right foot all the way down. Drop the chest halfway back. Exhale, lift the chest, lift the left leg. And then inhale, lower back. Exhale, lift. Good. We're going to do 3 more here. Elbows nice and wide. Thinking about drawing the lowest ribs towards the hip bones. Pause here. Bring both legs into tabletop now. Take a deep breath in. We're going to start to extend and lower the right leg down to a hover. Again, try to maintain the neutral spine. So if that means you can only lower the leg about halfway, that's fine. Exhale, drag the right knee back to tabletop. Inhale, switch. Lengthen and lower the left leg away. Exhale, nice and slow and controlled. Drag it back in. Good. Let's just do 1 more each side with the legs, and then we're going to add the chest in. Pause, both legs in tabletop, chest lifted nice and high. Inhale, lengthen, lower the right leg, drop the chest halfway back. Exhale, everything through center. Inhale, left. Exhale, big lift. Good, we're gonna do 4 more here. Use your breath. It's gonna make you feel better, first of all, to breathe. And it's gonna make some of the movement a little bit easier when you exhale on the exertion part. Good. Pause in center here after your last one, both knees in tabletop, chest lifted. We're going to add in a twist here. So take an inhale, lengthen, lower the right leg first. And on your exhale, twist up and over towards that left bent knee. Keeping the elbows wide, keeping the hips still and heavy. Inhale, come back through center with the chest, the knee. And then exhale, we switch. Twist over to the right, send the left leg long. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist and switch. Good, we're going to do about 4 more here. Again, using slow, controlled movement here. Make it look graceful. Good. On your last one, twist up and over towards the left. The right leg is long and hovering. Elbows are wide. We're going to find little tiny pulses in our twist. So just little twist. Keep the chest lifted high. Let's pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Chest through center, knee through center. And then we switch. Twist up and over to the right, left leg long. Deepen the twist, lift higher, little pulses. Sometimes, for me at least, it helps to think about the lowest left rib reaching across the body towards that right hip bone. Those are the pulses you're going for 3, 2, 1. Knee through center, chest through center. Nice and slow, lower the toes, lower the head to chest. Take a little stretch here. Send the legs long, arms overhead. Maybe interlace the fingers, flip the palms. Nice big good morning stretch. Inhale. And exhale. Take 1 more full breath here. Really lengthen out, stretch the abdominals. Good, and then release everything. Arms come down by your sides, palms face down. Again, bend the knees, feet about hip bone distance apart here. 2 rounds of those pelvic tilts to reset with our lower back and self-massage. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, nice and slow, rock the pelvis in. Again, inhale, rock forward. Exhale, nice and slow, rock it in. Find the imprint position, pause here. Take another full breath in, draw the belly in. On your exhale, start to press into the feet, press into the hands, the arms on the ground. Start to lift the hips up in space. Good, lifting 1 bone at a time. Pausing once you just reach about the tips of your shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in at the top. Exhale, let's reverse that motion nice and slow. Melt the spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. Until finally your hips and your tailbone land. Again, inhale, rock the pelvis away. Exhale, nice and slow, rock it in. Start to lift the hips straight up in space. Again, pausing here just at the tips of the shoulder blades. Checking in with the alignment in our bridge here. Ideally, we want to see 1 straight line from the tips of our shoulder blades down to our knees. The belly's drawing in, keeping the hips nice and level here, so we're not tilted one way or the other. Equal amount of weight in both feet. Take a nice deep breath in. Let's start to lower the hips down to a hover. So just maybe 1 inch or 2 above the mat. And then exhale, press into the feet, lift the hips back up. Again, inhale, lower down, soften. Exhale, engage the glutes, lift up. Good. We're gonna lift and lower, straight down, straight up for 4. Keep belly drawing in the whole time to find that hip and core stability here. We're lifting and lowering this spine, this part of the body, as one unit here. On the last one, we're going to lift the hips up, hold here, find little tiny pulses. So the hips are pulsing straight up towards the ceiling. A little squeeze coming from the glutes, starting to engage some of the hamstrings, the backs of our legs. Let's pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, lifted here. Now you're going to inhale, just lift the heels. So the calf muscles start to engage, and then exhale nice and slow, lower the heels down. Again, heels lift, and heels lower. Just do 2 more like that. And then pause with the heels lifted here, hips are lifted. Now we're going to inhale nice and slow, lower the hips down, hover. Exhale, press into the balls of the feet, lift up. Again, inhale, lower down, hover. Exhale, press, lift. If you want more of a challenge, more core work, we can make everything about core and Pilates if you really want. You can lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling here. Less support coming from the arms while you lift and lower. Let's go for 3, for 2. Last one, lift the hips, pause here, little pulses, hips pulsing straight up towards the ceiling. Let's pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice and slow, melt the heels first. Now we're going to keep the hips lifted, draw the belly in nice and tight. Start to get really heavy into the left foot and the right shoulder blade. As you exhale, we're going to float the right leg into a tabletop position here. Again, knee above hip. Inhale, nice and slow, place that right foot down. Exhale, we switch, lift the left leg. Inhale, reset, lower down. Exhale, lift and switch. Good. So we're starting to put more weight into a single leg at a time, so that's challenging. But we're also challenging the hip stability, the core stability here, even further by moving part of our lower body here. So we're still trying to keep the hips nice and still, nice and stable. Good. The next time the right leg's in tabletop, pause here. I suggest arms down on the ground for this one. It's a little bit more supportive here. If you want to, arms up. Now we're going to inhale nice and slow, lower the hips down to a hover. Right knee is bent in tabletop. Exhale, press into the left foot, lift up. Again, inhale, lower nice and slow. Exhale, lift. Good. A few more here. Couple different options for the legs. If you want more of a challenge, straighten the leg, toes up towards the ceiling. Again, keep the hips level. More supported option is the foot actually, or the ankle, the right ankle, resting on top of the left thigh in a figure 4 position. Lift and lower the hips from here. Or, happy medium, bend the right knee into tabletop. Last one, let's lift up, hold here. Find little tiny pulses. So hips are level, and we're just pulsing the hips straight up towards the ceiling. Really press into that left foot, engage the left hamstring and glute. Pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, slow, controlled. Place that right foot down. Let's reset here. Just lift and lower the hips 3 times. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Both feet on the ground. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. One last time. Hold at the top of your bridge here. Heavy into the right foot, left shoulder blade. Pick that left foot up into tabletop or left leg. And then let's inhale right away. Lower the hips down, hover. Exhale, press and lift. Again, choosing your position here with the left leg. Leg can be bent, toes up, or make that figure 4. We're going to lift and lower here for 4. Hip bones level, belly in. Last 3. Last 2. Probably starting to feel a little bit of shaking in that single leg. Last one, lift up, hold here, level out the hips if they've dropped. Find little tiny pulses straight up and up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice and slow, place that right foot down. Keep the hips lifted, just take a deep breath in. Exhale, nice and slow, lower the hips down, one bone at a time. If it feels good, bring both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug and squeeze. Maybe rock gently side to side. Good. And then let's send the legs long, arms overhead here. Take a little stretch. Lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling here. Bring the legs together to touch. Take an inhale, just flex through the feet. So spread all 10 toes, press through the heels. And then on your exhale, find a soft point from the ankles to the toes. So again, inhale, flex the feet. Exhale, find that soft point. One last time, just moving feet and ankles. Inhale, flex. Exhale, soft point. Keep the legs squeezing together here. We're gonna start to roll up. We'll take it halfway at first, and then we'll do our full roll up. So take a nice deep inhale. Draw the belly button in, nod the chin towards the chest, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Squeeze, press the thighs really firmly together here. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, start to lift the head, the chest, the backs of the shoulders, just about halfway up here. Take a full breath in, scoop, draw the belly in, lower all the way back. Let's do that actually 2 more times. Inhale, maybe lifting a little further each time. Inhale, lift up, scoop in. Exhale, round forward. Come all the way back, reset, inhale. One last time, let's start to roll up all the way, pressing the heels into the mat, rounding the spine forward, rolling all the way forward. If your legs lift a little, that's okay. Especially if it's your first roll up of the day. Sometimes they're a little rough. Sometimes if it's your 5th one, they're super rough. Round forward past your toes here, little stretch for the spine. Stack the spine nice and tall. Let's bend the knees, swing the legs behind you, come onto all fours. Lining up the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Let's take a few cat-cows here. So as you inhale, let's press the chest forward, lift the tail, lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, find a rounding. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, round through the upper back, look between the legs. And then inhale, we press forward. And exhale, we tuck, we round. A couple more like this, and maybe closing the eyes here. Not worrying too much about what the shape looks like. Just focusing on that subtle stretch from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Last round. And then we're going to meet in a neutral position here. So relatively flat back, but allowing for the natural curves of the spine to occur. Take a deep breath in, really draw, scoop the low abdominals in. We're going to send the right arm forward, left leg back here. Take another full breath in, prepare. And on your exhale, lift that arm and leg straight up in space here. Right away, stretch the toes and the fingers away from each other like you're stretching an elastic band. Spine is nice and neutral. Inhale, we lower the arm, the leg without changing the spine. And then exhale, we lift up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, press and lift. And of course, at any point, if balance or your wrists are becoming an issue, bring that hand down, just work the leg. Most of this you can also do from forearms. The most important work here is challenging the stability of the spine, trying to keep it in neutral while we challenge it by moving some limbs around. Last one, let's lift up, hold here. Arm in line with shoulder, leg in line with glute. We're going to find little tiny pulses straight up and up. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, lifted here. Now inhale, open arm and leg to opposite corners of the mat. Exhale, nice and slow, bring that arm and leg back through center. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, draw in. 3 more. Again, belly's drawing in nice and tight. Spine is nice and long. The last one, we open to the corners, pause, little pulses straight up. Little lifts for 4, 3, 2, 1. Arm and leg through center, hand down, knee down. Sink the hips back and down towards the heels, reset in child's pose. Finding a reset in the wrists any way you like, maybe making a couple fists and releasing, maybe drawing a few circles in and out. And then glide forward, tabletop again, second side. Gliding the left arm forward, right leg back, belly draws in. Exhale, lift arm and leg up in line with the body. Inhale, nice and slow, lower down. Exhale, lift. Good. Maintain the eyes down and forward on the mat. Releasing any strain in the neck. Last one, we're going to lift up, hold here. Stretch the fingertips, the toes away. Find little tiny pulses straight up. Little lifts for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, lifted. Now we're going to inhale, open arm and leg to opposite corners of the mat. Hopefully you have more space than I do. Arm and leg to opposite corners. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, open. Good. 3 more here. Again, that idea of stretching toes and fingers away, if the space in your apartment allow for it. Last one, open to the corners, little pulses straight up. Let's pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Arm and leg through center, hand down, knee down, sink the hips back and down. Full breath in, full breath out. Again, find that release in the wrist. We're gonna come back forward again. Again, at this next sequence, you wanna stay on your forearms, totally an option as well. It's a modification you can take for the wrists. Otherwise, back onto all fours. Send the right toes back, left toes back. Take a deep breath in. We're gonna set up in a plank position here, checking in with our alignment. We're gonna press the body weight a little further forward in space so you come onto your tippy toes. We're gonna draw the belly in nice and tight, but at the same time, we're gonna try and sense where our hips are in space. We want them ideally in line with our shoulders. So not piked up too high, not sinking down too low. It really takes some abdominal strength to keep them lifted in line with the shoulders here. Take a big breath in, full breath out. Really grip the mat with all 10 fingertips. Press the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Find a doming through the upper back. Gaze straight ahead and down. Holding and breathing here for 5. For 4, 3, 2. Last one, take a big breath in, really draw, scoop the belly in on your exhale, leading with the hips, wave up and back, find a down dog. Make any kind of little micro adjustments here. You need to make this inverted V position feel good for your body. Maybe it's moving the hands closer or farther apart. Maybe bending the knees. Let the head hang heavy for a second here. Find some stillness with the feet, the knees. Just breathe. Again, find that idea of clutching the mat with all 10 fingertips. I like to think of a cat and really digging the claws into the mat here, finding that type of a grip here. I mean, I see my cats do it all the time, so it's a thing. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Your next inhale, let's start to move. Start to lift the heels. As you exhale, start to lengthen through the legs, ripple the spine forward, wave out to a high plank here. As you inhale, draw the belly in and up, wave the hips back in to downward dog. And then exhale, let's peel the heels, lengthen the legs, ripple forward, high plank. Inhale, scoop it up and back. Exhale one last time, ripple forward. Let's bring the hips up and back, meet in down dog. A little bit different this time. Get heavy into the left foot. Send the right toes up towards the ceiling any amount, three-legged dog. Take an inhale. As you exhale, glide forward, bending that knee in towards the chest. And then inhale, lift up, stretch the right toes way, way up and back. Exhale, glide forward, bringing right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift it up and back. Exhale, come forward, cross the body, right knee towards the left elbow, little twist. Inhale, lift it straight up and back. Exhale, all the way through again, knee forward to chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, up. Exhale, cross it over and pause. Right knee towards the left elbow. Lengthen that right foot onto the mat. Heavy into the right hand. Lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take 3 big arm circles here in your fallen start. Try to keep the hips lifted nice and high. And then plant that left hand down. Send the right toes way up and back. Bring the right toes all the way down, second side. Heavy the right foot. Lift the left toes up towards the ceiling, any amount. Exhale, come forward, knee to chest. Inhale, big lift. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cross it over, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward, knee to chest. And up. Exhale, knee, left elbow. Inhale, big lift. Exhale, cross it over, pause, left knee to right elbow. Lengthen that left foot onto the floor. Heavy the left hand, lift the right fingertips up. 3 big arm circles here. Hips lifted nice and high. Planting that right hand down on the mat. Swing the left toes up and back, plant them all the way down here. Pedal up the feet one last time here. Take a little stretch for the legs. Find some stillness, take an inhale. Exhale, let's ripple forward nice and slow. Slowest one yet. Coming all the way out to your plank. Right away, let's drop to the right forearm. the left forearm, interlacing the hands underneath the face here. You're on a forearm plank. Same setup, same principles as the high plank. So press the body weight a little further forward. You're on your tippy toes. Try to sense the hips in line with the shoulders. Draw the belly in, gaze forward and down. Really press into the forearms, the elbows. Try to find that doming again through the upper back here. Hold and breathe here. Big inhales, big exhales. Ha. Good. Now your next inhale, let's press the body weight even further forward. Shoulders might come past the elbows a little bit. And then exhale, draw the belly in, drag the body weight back. So inhale, we seesaw a little forward. Exhale, seesaw the body weight back. Good. Really keep the body or the belly drawing in. Kind of repelling the motion with the toes, but the core is really super engaged to find that motion through the whole body. 2 more back and forth. After your last one, come back, hold in center and breathe for 3. For 2. Last one, soften to the knees. Lower yourself all the way onto the front of your body here, onto your tum-tum. Take the right ear onto the mat, look over the left. Bring the hands down by your sides and just breathe. And then switch sides. You can bring your head through center if that's more comfortable on your neck. Make a little pillow with your hands. Otherwise, switching sides, left ear down. Just taking a couple breaths here in recovery. Good. And then slowly bring the arms forward. Bring the hands a little bit wider than the mat and at about shoulder height here. Tilt the elbows up towards the ceiling. Let the forehead rest heavy. Legs are going to stay long and heavy behind you on the mat. Maybe about hip bone distance apart or a little wider, whatever feels comfortable for your pelvis. Find some abdominal engagement here before we move. So draw the low abs in. At the same time, press the hip bones and the pubic bone down firmly into the mat here. So your low back is pretty long, pretty lengthened here. Take another full breath in. On your exhale, start to press into the fingertips. Start to extend through the arms any amount, lifting the chest, lifting the head, maybe sending the gaze forward. You determine the back bend here. Inhale at the top, exhale nice and slow, lower all the way down. We're gonna do this a couple more times. So again, maybe pressing into the fingertips. Exhale, extend through the arms, lifting the chest, maybe lifting the gaze. Maybe coming a bit higher this time. Inhale at the top, exhale, melt it down. One last one, inhale to prepare. Exhale, press and lift, wave up. And nice and slow with control, melt all the way down here. Good. And then we'll send the arms into a nice wide V. Legs again long and heavy behind us, about hip bone distance apart, or maybe about mat width distance apart, you choose. Forehead down and heavy to start. Find that abdominal engagement of drawing the low abs in, hip bones, pubic bone down into the mat. Take another inhale, prepare. On your exhale, we're gonna lift right arm, left leg, just to hover an inch or 2 above the mat. Again, stretch the fingertips and toes away. Inhale, lower down. And then exhale, we switch. Left arm, right leg, hover. And then inhale, lower down. Good, so a really slow, controlled swim here. Just lifting opposite limbs. Finding that length across the backside of the body by stretching the arm and leg away. Good, so you can stay with this here. Or to find a little bit more of a challenge for the upper back, we're gonna lift the head and shoulders to hover. Lift the head and chest just to hover an inch or 2 above the mat. Lift both arms, lift both legs. You're in a starfish hold here. And then we're gonna lift opposite arm and leg from here and lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower back down. Good. And if you feel controlled here and you feel that length across the backside of your body, the hips are pretty stable and still, you can start to increase your speed here a little bit. Take it more to a flutter. So moving the arms and legs a little bit faster if you like, or keeping it nice and slow. Wherever you are, we're going for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the arms, the legs, the head, the chest.
Big inhale, big exhale. Release the bum, give it a little shake side to side. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press into the hands, lift the upper body, send the hips back towards the heels. Bring the toes together and the knees wide, so you're in a child's pose with wide knees. Forehead heavy on the ground here, big inhale, and a big exhale. Let's start to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat here, lining up the chest with the right thigh, and maybe creeping the left fingertips a little further forward in space. Feeling a stretch happening along the left side of the body, the left ribs. If you want more of a stretch, maybe placing that left hand on top of the right hand and just breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Nice and slow, start to walk the hands, the chest back through center. Keep walking on over to the left. Line up that chest with the left thigh. Reach the right fingertips a little further forward in space and breathe. Again, you can have that option to put the right hand on top of the left. One more full breath here. Nice and slow, walk the hands back through center. Take a nice deep inhale here in center. Exhale, nice and slow and controlled. Drag the hands in towards the knees. Maybe giving the knees a little tug once they reach. Round the spine forward. Stack the spine nice and tall here. Sit up tall. And you're going to make your way onto your backside body. So maybe just sitting down here. Legs long in front of you. You can roll yourself all the way back or just flop down, however you choose. Gracefully making your way onto the back of the body. And then let's set up here, knees bent again. This time feet are going to be a little bit wider, so about mat width distance is usually good for most people. Ideally heels on the mat, toes slightly turned off onto the hardwood. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, lift the hips straight up in space, coming back to that bridge position where you can see from your shoulders to your knees. Belly draws in. And then inhale, lower the hips down, hover. Exhale, press into the feet, lift up. Inhale, lower down, hover. Exhale, press and lift. Same rules as before. You can lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling for a challenge to core stability, or keep them on the floor for a little bit more support, especially if it's like your first time doing some of these exercises. It's always good to try things in a safe position first. Good. Lift and lower for 3. For 2. The last one, we're going to lift the hips up, hold here at the top. Find little tiny pulses up towards the ceiling. So a lot of this is going to be the same as that first round of bridges we did, except our knees are wide. So we're targeting different parts of our lower body here, mostly the side glutes, the side hips, sides of our legs, a little bit of the inner thigh. Pulsing straight up for 4, 3, 2. Last one, lift and hold here. Now we're going to pulse the thighs, the knees out towards the sides. So it's just a little pulse out, out, and out. Not drawing the knees in through center right now, just pulsing out. Should really feel it along the sides here. Let's pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the knees wide. Now as you inhale, lift the heels to a hover. Exhale, nice and slow, plant the heels back down. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. We're going to do 3 more here. Try to keep the backs of the ribs anchored on the mat, the backs of the shoulders. Last one, lift the heels, pause here. Inhale, nice and slow, lower the hips down, hover. Exhale, press, lift up. Again, inhale, heels lower, and exhale, they lift. Again, try to lift and lower the hips in unison here. Lift and lower for 3. Keep the knees nice and wide here for 2. Last one, lift and hold at the top. Little pulses of the hips straight up towards the ceiling. Let's pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, lifted here. Pulse the knees, the thighs out towards the sides. Little pulse out, out, and out. Let's pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heels. Nice and slow. Start to lower the hips down to a hover. Exhale, press and lift. Same action as the first set in this bridge here. Lift and lower the hips. 2 more. And then let's pause with the hips lifted here. Take an inhale. Start to allow the knees to knock in towards center. And start to lower the hips at the same time. As you exhale, now start to lift the hips up. Start to open the knees out back wide. So inhale nice and slow. Knees draw in, hips lower. Exhale, hips lift, knees open wide. Good. Let's go for 3. Really make it slow and controlled. You need the hands on the floor. That's also an option. The last one, we're going to lift, hold here at the top, little pulses of the hips straight up towards the ceiling. Side glutes really turned on now. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause lifted. Little pulses of the knees straight out and out. So the last little bit here in this sequence. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow and controlled. Roll the hips all the way down towards the mat. Bring both knees in towards the chest, little squeeze. And then bring one hand on either knee here. We're going to start to draw a few circles in opposition. Let the thigh bones rest nice and heavy into the hands. Really guide the motion of the legs from the hands and the arm bones. Just take a moment here, pause, go the opposite direction. Really thinking about stirring the thigh bone inside that hip socket. Creating a little bit of space, a little bit of mobility here with assistance. Find some stillness, send the legs long. Send the legs a little bit wider rather than close together. So for me, about mat width is the most comfortable. Low back is in neutral. Bend the elbows. Place the hands behind the head and neck, let the head rest heavy. Slight tip of the elbows up, slight nod of the chin towards the chest. Take that deep inhale, find your containment through the abdominals. On your exhale, lift the head and chest straight up. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower back down. 3 more straight up, straight down. Really try to finish the exhale at the top of the lift. And then inhale, just as slow, lower down. Last one, we're going to lift and hold here at the top, perched on the tips of the shoulder blades. Little pulses straight up towards the ceiling. Little lifts up for 4, 3, 2. Last one, lift and hold here. Start to get heavy into the left leg, the left hip. And then on your exhale, we're going to hover the right leg just a few inches above the mat. And then inhale, lower that right leg all the way down. Exhale, switch, hover the left leg. Inhale, place it down. Exhale, lift and switch. Good. The next time the right leg is hovering, pause here. Chest is still lifted. Take a deep breath in, draw the belly in. Exhale, bend that right knee to tabletop. And then inhale right away, lengthen and lower that right leg away to a hover. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lower. 2 more, just this leg moving, then we're going to progress and add on. The last one, drag the knee in, pause, lift the chest a little higher. Let's add our chest lift. So inhale, lengthen and lower the chest, the leg away. Everything hovers. Exhale, lift up, come through center. Again, inhale, lengthen it out. Exhale, big lift. 2 more. Last one, come through center, pause, hold. We're going to add on. You can keep going with this same motion, both hands behind the head, or lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take a moment, melt that left arm bone back into its shoulder socket, and then we inhale, lengthen, and lower everything away. Exhale, lift everything through center, knee on top of hip, arm on top of shoulder. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You've got 2 more like this. Good, last one, hold and center here, big inhale. Exhale, let's twist just the upper body up and over towards that right bent knee. If your hand is free, it's the outside of the left hand coming to the outside of the right thigh. And then inhale, come back through center, lower all the way down. Exhale, big lift, big twist. And then inhale, lengthen it all out. Exhale, lift and twist. So adding it all together here, let's go for 3, for 2. The last one, we're going to lift and hold over to the right side. Shrug that right or left shoulder away from the ear. Little tiny pulses here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back through center. Send the arm down, the leg down, the chest down. Take a moment here, stretch it out. And then second side, hands behind the head, elbows wide. Big inhale. Exhale, lift the head and chest. Heavy the right leg, the right hip, and then hover the left toes, the left leg. Take an inhale, draw the belly in. Exhale, pull that left knee to tabletop. Inhale, lengthen and lower just the leg. Exhale, nice and slow, pull it in. Good, 2 more here. The last one, bring through center. Let's add the chest on. Inhale, lengthen it all out. Exhale, big lift through center. Good, and now that you know where this progression is going, try not to rush through it. Try to take just as much time on this side. Last one, pull through center. Lifting the left or right fingertips up towards the ceiling here if you'd like. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, twist up and over towards that left bent knee. Inhale, come through center, lower everything down. Exhale, lift up and twist. Inhale, lower it all down. Exhale, big lift and twist. Good, try to keep the hips stable, so avoiding that rocking and shifting side to side as we lift and lower. Last one, let's lift and hold over to the left here. Shrug that right arm bone away. Little pulses, deep over to the left. Of course, that second hand can be behind the head if you need that support. Let's pulse it out for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center, nice and slow. Lower the arm, the leg. Stretch everything out nice and long here. Big breath in, and big breath out. Good, and then let's bend the knees, feet on the floor here. Roll and the right arm over your head. Roll over onto your right side. Just take a second here, maybe take a breath in the fetal position, reset. Left hand in front of the chest, press into that hand. Lift yourself up. Come onto all fours, again, hands and knees. Let's do 2 rounds here of cat-cows. So as you inhale, let's press the chest forward, lift the tail, maybe lift the gaze. Exhale, find that tuck, that rounding, look between the legs. So inhale, press forward, arch. Exhale, round and tuck. Come back to that neutral position here. Start to get really heavy into the left hand, light into the right fingertips. And on your inhale, let's lift the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let's scoop that right arm under the left side, threading that arm under and through, right shoulder, right ear, just hover above the mat. And then we're gonna inhale, lift up and look up. Exhale, twist and thread. One last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, now come all the way down onto that right shoulder, that right ear. Maybe taking that left hand onto the low back for a little bit more support in your twist. Or if you want a bigger stretch, taking that left hand and binding it around the right thigh. Rolling that left shoulder away from the ear. Slowly place that left hand back on the ground first. And lift the right fingertips up, nice big stretch. Plant the right hand back down, other side. Heavy into the right hand, lift the left fingertips up, inhale. Exhale, thread under and through, little twist, little hover. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One last time, we lift, really reach. Exhale, thread it under and through, come all the way down onto left shoulder, left ear. Right hand on the low back. Or bind it around. Drawing that right shoulder away from the face. And then slowly release that right hand first, press into it, lift the left fingertips way, way up, plant that left hand back down. Good. Now we're gonna send the right toes back, left toes back. Again, if you wanna do this from forearms, that's totally an option as well. Otherwise, on your hands and your toes, separate the feet about hip bone distance apart here. So a little bit further apart rather than narrow together. Send the body weight a little further forward and stay still, up through the shoulder blades, belly in. We're gonna walk the right hand underneath the face, roll onto the edges of the feet, lift the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, look up. Exhale, start to pike the hips, lift the hips, thread that left arm under the right waist. Inhale, we're gonna lift up, look up. Exhale, thread it under and through. One last time, lift up. Exhale, thread under and through. Pause here. Find little pulses in your twist. Looking underneath that right armpit. Let's pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift that arm up. Place the left hand down, walk the right hand out, back onto all 10 toes. Pause here, hold your high plank, or stretch it up and back on the down dog. For more of a challenge, you can bend both elbows, lower the chest any amount towards the floor, and then press, come back up, little push up. Second side, walk the left hand under the face, roll up into the right side. Right fingertips way, way up there. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips, scoop under, look under. Inhale, big lift. Exhale, thread it under and through. One last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, thread it under and through. Pause here. Little tiny pulses. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up, look up. Replace that right hand down, walk the left hand out, back onto 10 toes. Again, pause, stretch, or challenge. Little push up. And then let's all meet in a high plank here. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, wave the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, glide forward, ripple forward, high plank, pause. Let's softly bend the knees just so they're hovering above the mat. Start to press the hips back towards the heels like you're coming to a child's pose. You can even totally drop the knees down if you'd like. So we're going to sink the hips back towards the heel either way. And then nice and slow and control, lift the hips, lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. You're back in a down dog. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, bend the knees, slide back. And then lift the hips. Good, breathe where you need to. Breathe where you find the parts challenging. And again, you're totally welcome to just fully come down into child's pose, stretch it back. Slowly tuck the toes under, then lift the hips up and back. We're just kind of rolling out the spine here. Releasing any tension, but at the same time, still using the core to challenge ourselves. Hello, cat. Good, hello. Let's do one more round all the way through. It's a lot easier when you don't have a cat under you. Last time, lift up. Let's all meet in down dog or down cat. Big inhale, big exhale. One more big breath like this. Head hangs heavy. Maybe a little or soft bend in the knees, whatever you need. And slowly, when you're ready, start to walk the hands towards your feet here. Finding a little or as big a bend in the knees as you need. Hang out for a second here in your forward fold. Maybe grab for opposite elbows if that feels good. You can shift your weight a little bit side to side. If you want more of a stretch for the upper back, the shoulders, take the forearms behind the back. Grab for opposite elbows. Think about bringing the belly button towards the thighs, the chest towards the shins. And just hang heavy. Slowly release whatever grip you may be holding on your hands. Fingertips down towards the mat, big inhale. On your exhale, start to point the tailbone down towards the mat. Start to ripple, stack the spine, one vertebrae on top of the other, until you roll all the way up to standing. Head and neck are the last to arrive here. Take an inhale, get really tall. Lift the arms up overhead. Interlace the hands, flip the palms up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, start to bend the knees, send the hips back and down. Keep the chest lifted, little squat. Exhale, press into the feet, lengthen the legs. Come up, little side bend over to the right. Inhale, stack tall. Bend the knees, hips down and back. Exhale, lift up, little side bend to the left. One more each side. Inhale, stack tall. Little lower down. Up and over to the right. Inhale, lift. One last time, we lower. Exhale, up and over, left. Stack all the way tall through center. Bring the palms to touch overhead, send the gaze up towards the fingers. Big inhale, get as tall as you can. As you exhale, slowly start to guide the hands towards your heart center. Keep the fingers, tips glued together, the eyes glued to the fingers. Start to interlace the hands, start to press the hands down towards the mat. Continue to exhale. As you inhale, slowly start to guide the arms forward. Gaze on the fingers, lift up, look up. At the top, plant the palms together, exhale. Interlace the fingers, press the hands down, the air out. And then we're gonna inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, release, pull down. 2 more times, maybe close the eyes if that feels good. Inhale up. Exhale, big release. One last time, inhale, lift up. Maybe make this the biggest inhale yet, biggest stretch yet. Exhale, plant the palms together, lower them towards your heart center, pause here. Press the outer edges of the thumbs towards your chest. And find a soft nod of the chin in towards the chest here. Again, maybe soften the gaze. And just like we did in the beginning of class, find a moment here to soften through the body. So maybe softening the forehead, the jaw, allowing the teeth to part slightly. Shoulders heavy, belly relaxed, bum relaxed. Slowly, slowly, when you're ready, start to lift the head, the neck, the gaze back through center. Thank you guys so much for joining me in class today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope to do more of these in the future as well. That's Molson. Most of you know Molson, yeah. Anyways, okay, bye. Thanks for joining.